Kathleen McMahon and Thomas O'Malley shortlisted for the Kerry Group Irish Novel of the Year award. Your books, This Is How It Ends and The Magnificent Desolation, are fantastic, and I just wanted to know, what was your reaction when you heard you'd been shortlisted for the award?
I was amazed, actually, because my book came out in May of last year, so it's kind of getting to I thought it was at the end of its life cycle, and then this gorgeous postscript came in. I was really surprised. I was thrilled. You look back at the previous winners and previous shortlists, and I was just so humbled to be included on that list at all, and delighted, you know. My book is accessible, so I was really pleased as well that an accessible book had been included. I felt good for the prize, you know, that it's
open to all.
Yes, yes.
How about yourself, Thomas?
Well, it was amazing because I thought reading period, my book came in at the end. So it had barely had any shelf life at all. And so when I found out that I made it, first of all, and then again, you know, as Kathleen said, you look at the shortlist and the people that have won before, and that's when your knees go a little bit weak. You know, oh Jesus, John Banville, William Trevor, you're going down the list, and you just feel awestruck.
It was a moment everything began to fall apart. Alfie, who would have been 7.5, and I were of course wildly excited about the trip from the moment our father first announced it to us. For days afterwards, we talked of nothing else. I remember one afternoon in particular, jumping around the living room, listing the firsts. It was our first time on an aeroplane, our first time out of England.
I can even pretend that I'm a daisy. I can express the world 2 words, even if I'm only talking to birds.
He realised he's standing there on the sidewalk staring into their house. He shouldn't be staring. There might be someone in there, they might be able to see him. He turns away quickly, rushing along the sidewalk like someone escaping a crime scene.
These deck contraptions lie full of skirting boards, under every appliance, behind every door. I read about them on the Interpest. They're called mousetraps, and the name describes the purpose.
I'm here with Lucy Caldwell, shortlist from the Kerry Group Irish Novel of the Year award. Lucy, how did you feel when you heard you were shortlisted for the award?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was a really intense novel to write. You know, it felt like it took so much out of me, and so to have it recognised.
Yeah, it's a bit of an emotional roller coaster of a book, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and it was. I wrote it very intensively over. The actual writing was sort of less than a year, but you know, working on it completely flat out. Then a sort of further year or so of editing. So as books go, it was quite short. My previous one took 6 years, all in all. But it was so intensive. You know, you finish it just feeling drained. So for other people to then read it and put it on the shortlist was brilliant.
I'm here with Evan Gelsinen, who has just read inside of the winner's reading from he came second in the creative writing 9 and under. I just heard your story, Evan. It was absolutely fantastic, all about werewolves and full of imagination. How did you come up with it?
I don't really know. I just in my writing space we were like talking about the different types of stories we could do. So I thought of like a scary story because I don't really do them very often. So I just tried to do something I don't really do like normally.
Would you like to meet a werewolf or a vampire in real life? Do you think they'd be interesting?
Probably.
And Lord Listowel gave orders to clear us all out, Colberts, Connors and Corridons alike. They came on small Christmas Day in January 1863, bailiffs, peelers and soldiers, and they had us out on the cold bog before dawn. They burnt down the houses for fear that we'd go back into them when their backs were turned, and they took my father and the other grown-up men into the workhouse in Listowel with them. They did that out of charity, they said, because Lady Listowel wouldn't sleep the night if the poor creatures were left homeless in the mountains.
Hi, I'm here with Connie Roberts, the winner of this year's poetry collection. Connie, congratulations.
Thank you very
You're
much.
after travelling a long way to be here with us. Where are you after coming from?
I came from New York, flew in on Sunday morning at 6 o'clock. So I got acclimated the last few days and I brought the sunshine with me.
You're very good. Thanks a million. We love having this kind of weather for the festival.
I'll send you the bill.
Do try not to make it too exorbitant now. But, what did it mean to you, Connie, to win the collection?
Well, you know, it means the world to me, especially the year that's in it, you know, the gathering and just coming home and getting the Writers' Week award is just all the more sweet given the year of the gathering and that. I feel like the prodigal daughter, you know, that I'm now feasting on the fatted calf here in Listowel, you know.
I watched the gathering, you know, with an audience and with everybody saying, what about Northern Ireland? What about the Catholic Church? And what about? And he just said, you know, very beautiful in that very beautiful cadence which he could command. He said, the only job of a writer is to look after your sentences.
I'm here with Eilish Wren from the Writers' Week Committee. She's one of the backbones to it. There are two, herself and Maura Logue. Eilish, there's so much planning that goes into this. It's been year-long. What can you honestly say about it in the end?
Oh, it is fantastic. It all comes to the climax when the festival comes. And we start planning in October. And we work right through the year, right up until the end of May when the festival begins. And it is absolutely fabulous when everybody starts to arrive. You've been working with them all year. You've been emailing them and talking to them on the phone, and then suddenly they arrive in person, and you meet the person at the end of the day. And it's wonderful to welcome them to Writers' Week. They have a great time. They're always. They love Listowel, and then we love saying goodbye to them again, and hopefully we'll see them again next year.
Stories began as a lump in the throat. She sometimes found it hard to speak. She felt a sort of homesickness whenever she sat down at a sheet of paper. Emily Ehrlich survived not by theory or formula, but by certain moments of ease when she felt herself at full tilt, a sprinting, hurdling joy, lost in a small excelsis. Now, you also talk about insanity and failure, but we leave those out for the moment. So is this what the process of writing is or was or is sometimes for you?
I don't like writers talking about how hard it is for them, because I mean I think it's hard for a lot of people, and I certainly don't like that whole idea that, oh geez, I had to wear a blindfold and block out the world and a writer doesn't live in the world and that sort of thing. I don't find it interesting. But having said that, this book was a tough one for me, and there was a lot of times when it felt like I wasn't getting it. Maybe it's tough, but you've got to create an appearance of ease, and you know that. You write so beautifully. You know, like you create the appearance of ease.
But it's hard. It may be hard work, but it shouldn't be hard work for the reader.
It should never be hard. I shouldn't look like it's being really hard work.
The quiet man, he sat him down, and to himself did say, I'll sit and watch a channel mouth until my dying day.
It was a wonderful, wonderful experience. Local, the Abbey Field players, and they gave a wonderful presentation. It was most enjoyable.
Keep out of this, you! This is a family matter, it doesn't concern you.
It does concern him. He's my husband now, for better or for worse.
That sounded better when the priest said it.